Fans are not happy with Beyonce after she sat with Ivanka Trump in Atlantic City. People have been saying it's always guilty by association until it's their fave. A user here said, weird how Beyonce fans attack Taylor Swift for being guilty by association, but now are silent when it comes to Beyonce. People even brought up the fact that Beyonce was supporting the Buffalo Soldiers by wearing their shirts, and you can read the text here. A lot of fans are very upset because they said that Beyonce campaigned for Kamala Harris, for a while, and they don't like the fact that she's aligning herself with MAGA. Then there's more tweets here, people saying this exaggeration with USA aesthetic was always weird, but so obvious. People even went to the extent of putting up old pictures of Trump and Beyonce together. And this picture triggered it all.
So Beyonce and Jay-Z showed up at Jay-Z's own charity event, the Reform Alliance Casino Night in Gala. This wasn't just any little fundraiser, it was a massive high roller affair in Atlantic City, dripping with glitz, glam, and big money energy. Jay-Z, being one of the main hosts, made sure the night didn't disappoint, and they sure delivered, raising a jaw-dropping $20 million for criminal justice reform. That's a number so big it had the whole room clapping and champagne glasses clinking. But here's the kicker. That's not even what had everybody buzzing after the night ended. Nope. The real scandal came from a single table, Beyonce and Jay-Z's table to be exact. Ivanka Trump and her slick, polished husband, Jared Kushner. Yes, you heard that right. Donald Trump's daughter sitting directly across from Queen Bey herself. The moment pictures hit the internet, the world practically lost its mind. Beyonce glowing in her blue dress, flashing that signature megawatt smile, while Ivanka sits across from her like it's the most casual thing in the world. The second fan spotted this seating arrangement. Social media went into full meltdown mode. Twitter threads popped up within minutes. Instagram comments blew up, and TikTok was already dissecting the body language frame by frame. People weren't just surprised, they were outraged.
I want to get this straight. You cancel artists rightfully for performing at Trump's inauguration, but when they're sitting with his daughter at a charity event, there's a bunch of excuses for it. Like, here's the thing. There's an option to not show how morally bankrupt you are. Like, what gets me is the people commenting willingly say that there's an excuse for, again, sitting with the daughter of someone you have called various names. So it kind of, either you have to admit that they're not as perfect or as in control of their career as they say, which a lot of people do not want to admit, or you gotta admit that is a pretty fucked up thing to do.
And let's not forget, Beyonce wasn't just any celebrity playing it safe during the last election season. She was out here front and center using her platform to back Kamala Harris loud and proud. Remember that Houston rally? She got up on stage, gave a powerful speech, and made it clear where she stood. So now, seeing her sharing a table, smiling even, with Ivanka Trump, fans are calling it confusing, suspicious, even a slap in the face to everything Beyonce has publicly stood for. Now, here's where it gets real messy. Everyone knows Beyonce has been riding with the Democrats for years. She's shown up, spoken out, and put her name behind that party every chance she gets. So when fans saw her sitting at a table looking all friendly with the Trump crew, people instantly felt betrayed.
It is astonishing to see how many of you guys actually do not have a backbone. And yes, I'm talking to you, the person who cannot let go of their parasocial relationship with these celebrities. Beyonce was seen sitting at a table with Ivanka Trump and the Kushners, right? And you still have the Beyhive, or people just trying to make sense of why is she at the table? Why is she interacting with these people? Why is she Beyonce the billionaire? I love Beyonce down, but guys, these are still capitalists. They are billionaires. This is the same Beyonce who knows how many people are economically struggling and is releasing sacred after tour after everything. Beyhive and Taylor Swift fans are the exact same because y'all are mooching up to the butts of these celebrities who do not give one single fuck about you.
Some tried to downplay it, claiming, oh, they weren't even sitting together. But the receipts don't lie. The picture makes it crystal clear. They were right there at the same table, and it wasn't some coincidence. And just when you think it couldn't get any shadier, let's zoom in on that photo again. Guess who else is sitting at that table? Desiree Perez. Yep, that Desiree, the CEO of Jay-Z's Roc Nation. If the name sounds familiar, it's because her past made headlines long before this gala drama. Let's rewind. Back in 1994, Desiree got arrested on serious drug charges. She ended up cooperating with the feds, dodged the harshest punishment, and got probation. But she slipped up, violated parole, and by 1999, she was serving 9 months behind bars. That history has always followed her around, and critics never let it slide. Fast forward to 2021, Trump's final chaotic days in office. Out of nowhere, Desiree Perez was one of the people he chose to pardon. That move shocked everyone. People were scratching their heads, wondering why Trump, of all people, would go out of his way to wipe her record clean. And now, cut to this gala, and there she is, seated close enough to Jared Kushner to whisper in his ear if she wanted. Do you see the optics here? Fans are already piecing things together like detectives, asking if there's some behind-the-scenes deal-making happening. Why are these faces all smiling at the same table? Why is Desiree, of all people, positioned so close to the Trump camp? Nobody knows the truth yet, but one thing's for sure. The whole situation looks bad, real bad. So let's break this down because the layers of this are wild. You've got Beyonce, a woman who's been celebrated for years as the face of Black excellence, empowerment, and straight-up Democratic loyalty, now pictured sitting cozy across from Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner. And here's the kicker, this is all happening right after Trump snatched the presidency from Kamala Harris, the very candidate Beyonce put her voice, her platform, and her energy behind. The timing couldn't have been worse. People are still heated over that election. Emotions are raw, and now they're watching their favorite superstar sharing smiles with the family they feel represents everything she publicly fought against. Fans are livid, confused, and honestly, hurt. Now let's be fair. Sitting at the same table during a fancy charity gala doesn't automatically mean Beyonce and the Trumps are suddenly besties. But let's not kid ourselves either. It definitely looks that way. And perception is everything, especially when it comes to politics and celebrity power. This wasn't just any random event. This was Jay-Z's event. That means seating wasn't out of their control. If Bey and Jay wanted a different table, you better believe they could have had one. So the question is, why this table and why now? And then you add Desiree Perez into the mix, the Rock Nation CEO whose criminal past was wiped clean thanks to a Trump pardon in 2021. That alone sparks questions of loyalty, favors, and connections that go deeper than the surface. Fans are whispering, is there a sense of payback at play? Is Jay-Z protecting Desiree's interests by keeping things cool with the Trump family? And if so, where does that leave Beyonce, who's tied into it all simply by being his wife? This entire situation has turned into one big puzzle with too many missing pieces. Was Beyonce just putting on her polite face because she had no choice? Or is this a carefully crafted move behind closed doors? Either way, people are talking, and they're not letting this go anytime soon.
I think this whole thing with Beyonce and Ivanka Trump is reaching because people don't understand that people in those positions tend to go to the same events. They're going to be seated together, whether they agree. It's not like these events have tables with just Republicans, just Democrats, and they all just sit together. That's not how these things work. Also, you got to understand that, yes, Beyonce is our queen, and we believe that she can do what she can. She can do whatever she wants to do. But at the same time, her being Beyonce, her being an artist is a job. She goes to events. She has obligations to do. She's constantly making money. It's just no different in the real world where you work with people that you may not necessarily agree with all of their ideologies and, what have you. I'm pretty sure you would be surprised, as some of y'all are seeing with everything that's been happening right now, of working with people and coming to find out the truth coming to light that you're working with people who don't share any of the ideologies of you, of that you have. And then what ends up happening is, unfortunately, a lot of times those people are in positions of power, or your bosses, your managers, and now we're finding that people are being, wrongfully, but being terminated from their jobs because of their ideologies, beliefs, whatever. But yeah, it's the same thing in that world. And don't get me wrong, the rich is going to stick with the rich to a certain degree. She don't really have to necessarily be the bad person in a situation, because at the end of the day, these people all rub elbows with each other, all of them. Are a lot of them in cahoots with each other? You bet damn Skippy they are.